Hello, everybody. Whoever's here. Uh, so, how's it going? So today I was supposed to move a bunch of stuff from one storage unit to the next. Supposed to, but I was unaware that the storage unit I was moving from, there's no access whatsoever. So instead of doing moving things or whatever, I was given some hours to just figure out how to. It was always a thing I wanted to figure out was how to stream simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Right now, I'm noticing on the software that I got a little bit of a delay. I'm not sure if that's carrying over to YouTube and Facebook, but if you're seeing that, let me know, because I'm going to check it out later anyway. But I figured that this would be a good time also just to, I don't know, to read for you a little bit and do sort of like a mini thing. I won't be doing like a full thing today, like a full reading or anything. Just this is essentially just like a test, but I wanted to take the time also to just talk and share some new shit or some old stuff for a second, and also just kind of talk about what's happening now with the stream. If you missed the last live, and if you did miss the last live reading on here, you should go check it out, because I had a friend on here, Tara Sturgill, who is a lovely and brilliant writer from Kentucky. She read some things and I shared some things, and we just kind of got talking pretty good about stuff. Anyways, this is a poem that this is one I wanted to read the last time, but I wanted to end on a lighter note. But me and Tara got to talking about what it is that might. Oh, what is going on here? What it is sometimes that triggers sometimes our writing, and what we got just to talk. I mean, obviously, I feel like if you read my work, oh my gosh, and or even her work, she gets a lot of inspiration just about being around people, and that's obvious because I mean like, we're around people all day. I mean, I'm sure a lot of writers get inspiration just by people, but it got a little bit more specific, and I feel like I didn't get to, because I'm so terrible at being in front of the camera with someone, apparently, because I'm sharing a space and I want to hear what they have to say too, and I want to make sure that there's enough space for them to feel free to say whatever. But I didn't really get into what it is, because I did say people too, but I also got into what that is exactly, and that I got into a little bit of talking about poverty, and I kind of said that there are weeks where I'll just end up writing really dark shit, because I will talk about like people who are without a home, or without a home or anywhere to go for help, or feeling that they have anywhere to go for help. And I end up talking about how that just spider webs into like all the other issues on this planet that somehow get overlooked, it feels, because it only feels like the addressing the issue with folks who are on the street and not getting the help that they need is spurs from multiple things, but I think right now, and you would think that it would be like something to do with mental illness, which it does, in some cases, or, are forgotten warriors who are on the street and trying to get through the shit that still lives in their head and dealing with, their PTSD and so forth. And then, and then there's the opioid addiction. And then but I feel like one of the more major issues is just like I talk about this all the time, because every time I come home, things get more expensive, like living. So I'm getting at it is just like, I think one of the major things is just like, affordable housing for people. So I feel like this is, so to go deeper on what I feel like I am triggered to write about, and all those things are, I'm writing about those things all the time. That's like 5 or 6 different, forms of, publicly informing folks if they don't know, which is it's like really hard to even not know what is happening. And then, it's just putting this stuff in my writing, because it does hit me pretty hard sometimes, and it is overwhelming, and it does feel kind of hopeless sometimes, but the writing does help to deal with that. But also, it is a way that I feel is the best way, and something that feels purposeful to be out here with these folks who do need some voices speaking with them. But so this poem, long story short, long introduction short, I wrote this piece entitled "To Sit with the Dead," because if you are a friend of mine, it is, and then if you are from Covington, Kentucky, you've probably been, touched in some way by the terror that is the terror and the unfortunate darkness that looms over the world that is the opiate addiction issue. And I've lost a lot of friends to this shit, and I'm sure all of you have too. But there was a day where I just kind of was okay. So I was just like kind of sitting around, and I just got to just thinking, like not even thinking, no, somebody popped up. That's one of those things, like somebody popped up on Facebook who had passed like in the last 2 years from a relapse. And I just got to thinking about them, and then it just kind of snowballed, because not even like a year or two before that, I lost another friend to another relapse. And then, years before that, there are handfuls of people that I know, and if you're friends with me, you know what I'm talking about, who we have lost to this horse shit. So, so when things kind of hit me like this, I usually sit with it for a very long time, sometimes too long, until I eventually put it into words, and it does help. It helps. It doesn't, it doesn't really take away the feeling or anything, but it does help. And I do feel connected to the people I've lost in the ways that I write, to honor them, and to also, in a way, send out some sort of shield for folks, protecting them from this fucked up shit that is like, opiates, and warning those of the future, the children, if they do end up reading this stuff. And just, it's really hard to write about. It's really hard to read, but it helps. But anyways, this is A Sit with the Dead, and I've been looks like I've been doing this for 26 minutes, and now it's saying that the feed is a little slow. So if you're experiencing that, let me know if that's on Facebook or YouTube. and then I might have to tweak some things so that this can continue. This is a poem entitled "Sit with the Dead." December 26th, 2021. I feel the settle in first, under my belly, then quickly beneath a well sipping on the eyes. I ignore my sickness, embrace the goodness in our cut in this time. I do not stay too long. We cannot, lest we lose to the swell combing out the light. Though they live in the moments, and so do I. They are hungry. Put on these shoes, kid. Meet the morning, they say. Get in your turn. Keep going. Keep going. Come back. And wild. Grow and be wild. Let's sit with the dead. Let me know what you thought. If my feet are dry, I don't give a shit. Like I don't mind walking in the rain at all. So I wrote this poem. I entitled it "The Beautiful Rain." So with that introduction said, this is what I wrote about after I left my parents' house. Finishing the dinner of cabbage, carrots, potatoes, and ham. Dad puts up a fist for a bump, and Mom hugs one big, always, before I am out the door. It's raining small, but predicted to freeze with the night. No umbrella? She says. Your hat is going to get wet. I tell her it isn't a problem. This rarely is. Starting into it, I do not feel a thing, but my jacket has become darker. Hands pushed into pockets, picking at the critters and junk deep in the corners of them. Not long after the first turn, do the choir of their bodies drum over the fans of dropped leaves. We have walked in the rain from here to British Columbia, and slept through some in Denver. We have sat through the hours in the oil of midnight casts, and we have crossed walks to do more, to stand beneath uncovered stops. Though miserable to the unweathered eye, the path lies on one to home, to bed, to towel, to heat, and belly full, leaving room enough to notice how water looks and sounds. The Beautiful Rain. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I really had fun. I had fun updating you guys and just getting to read a little bit in the middle of the week after just having a big reading. So we went for like 30 minutes. Hopefully everything went well. YouTube looks like it's running excellently now. Whether or not that the delay that's happening right now is happening for you all, at least you'll be able to enjoy the audio. I think that's be okay. It's not too big of a delay, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. And I'm gonna go. It's Mardi Gras weekend. Didn't really get to do anything last night because whatever. It's sun's out. I think I might get a beer up over if you'd like to join me. And from there, I don't know. I guess I'll see you around Covington. With that said, love y'all. Stay positive. And as always, stay human. Take it easy. And I will see you next time.